Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Vishwapad Paramahamsa Paribhati Vattavya Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishwapad Paramahamsa Paribhati Acharya Shrota Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Thakur Shri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavind Ki Nama Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Sundar Radha Ki Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 12, text number 178. I know you're ready. Okay. Sarvabhaumem Dayana. Huh? Oh, we just. Okay. Sarvabhaume Dayana Prabhu Prasada Uttama Snehakari Barabar Karana Bhojana. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted to offer Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya first class food. Therefore, out of affection, he had the servers put first class food on his plate again and again. Gopinathacharya Uttama Mahaprasada Ani Sarvabhaumi Diya Kahe Sumadhura Vani. Gopinath Acharya also brought first class food and offered it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya while speaking sweet words. Kahan Bhattacharyera Purva Jada Vyavahar Kahane Paramananda Karaha Vichar. After serving the Bhattacharya with first class prasadam, Gopinath Acharya said, just consider what Bhattacharya's previous mundane behavior was. Now we are on Madhya Leela chapter 12, text number 180. Just consider how at present he is enjoying transcendental bliss. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was previously a Smarta Brahmana, that is, one who strictly follows the Vedic principles on the mundane platform. On the mundane platform, one cannot believe that prasadam is transcendental, that Govinda is the original form of the personality of Godhead, or that a Vaishnava is a liberated person. These transcendental conditions are out of the ordinary Vedic scholars' jurisdiction. Most Vedic scholars are called Vedantas. These so-called followers of Vedanta philosophy consider the absolute truth to be impersonal. They also believe that a person born in a particular caste cannot change his caste until he dies and takes rebirth. The Smarta Brahmanas also reject the fact that Mahaprasadam, food offered to the deity, is transcendental and materially uncontaminated. Originally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was subjected to all the rules and regulations of the Vedic principles on the mundane platform. Now, Gopinath Acharya pointed out how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had been converted by the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Being converted, Sarvabhauma partook of prasadam with the Vaishnavas. Indeed, he sat by the side of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utafpada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakan Vatamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sandubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swaminati Namane Harijanagana Badi Gnana Karmandhari Prakatita Para Bhaktir Bhakti Siddhanta Kantihi Vinaya Nikara Lakshmir Nimna Medera Gamyo Bhuvijayati Vikaso Bhakti Purvo Yatindra Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarane Vagishayasya Vadane Lakshmiryasya Chavakshasi Yasyasya Hridaya Samvit Tamritsamham Aham Bhaje Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Kati Vachalam Pangam Langaite Giram Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarnam Paramananda Mahavam Shri Chaitanya Hare Krishna. Thank you all for having me here at New ISKCON, New Goloka. It's an honor to be here, and I'd like to seek the blessings of the devotees here to speak something which is in line with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So, this is a section of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita where Gopinath Acharya is showing everyone, is actually astonished at the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeing how by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was a mundane logician, was able to actually become a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So much so to the degree that he became such a pure follower of Lord Chaitanya that he was able to capture the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a verse. He made this verse, he composed this verse. It's Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshamrita Eka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripambuder Yasam Aham Prapadya. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combination of Sri Radha and Krishna, came down to teach Vairagya Vidya, which is renunciation, the knowledge of renunciation along with devotional service. And Nija Bhakti Yoga, he taught us this by the principle of pure devotional service. And he taught us Shikshamrita Eka Purusha Purana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari, Kripambuder Yasam Aham Prapadya. He is very merciful. This Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful to all living entities, and he simultaneously taught them this principle of renunciation and devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In another place in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes that amongst all of Lord Chaitanya's devotees, the verse is Mahaprabhu Bhaktargan Vairagya Pradhan Yaha Deki Priti Haya Gaura Bhagavan. That amongst all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one thing is very common, and that thing is renunciation. And looking at this renunciation of Sri Chaitanya of the devotees, Lord Chaitanya becomes very pleased. And of course, if the Supreme Lord is pleased, the devotees of the Supreme Lord are also pleased. So we can see that over here, Gopinath Acharya is feeling great bliss, looking at how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was able to renounce his previous hang-ups. Everyone, according to the different modes of material nature that we're influenced by, has a particular mode of nature that is influencing them. Or there's a particular flavor of Maya. There's a particular flavor of Maya. For example, for Indians, most Indians, Led Zeppelin is not a big Maya. But for Americans, Led Zeppelin may be a Maya, at least back in the day. Nowadays, I don't know so much. But back in the day, that may be big Maya. But just like some famous Indian movie star may not even be looked up to in America because of these different flavors of Maya. That's all. It may not appeal to different people. And Krishna explains this in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Prakrita Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhunkter Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Guna Sangasya Sadasad Yoni Janmashu." Depending upon the different permutations and combinations of the three modes of material nature, a person takes birth in a particular womb. And according to the particular womb that a person takes birth in, he is influenced by a particular kind of mode of material nature. So over here we can see Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He is very much attracted to, he was very much in the mode of goodness, and he was a Smarta Brahmana, and he was very proud of being a Smarta Brahmana and being a very proud Vedantist. He was able to, he was back then. He was the teacher of so many learned scholars in India. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is such an important man. He was by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, was able to give up his hang-ups that he had of being born in a particular family and being so learned and being so intelligent. He was able to give up these hang-ups. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya's mercy is such that no matter what propensities we may have, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can give up those propensities. That's the power. Once Srila Prabhupada was on a train in India, and then some Indians came up and they asked Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, can you show us a magic trick? And Srila Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada said, yes, I'll show you a magic trick. Look at these American boys and girls. Before, they were very much addicted to LSD and all these other bad habits. But now, by the process of Krishna consciousness, their character has completely changed. What better magic trick is there than that? It's okay, someone we may say is a big, nowadays, like India, not just nowadays, but even in the past, India is a factory of producing many avatars. So many avatars come out of India every year. Every village has its own avatar. Like whether they're, most of them, 99.99% of them are obviously not bona fide. Only bona fide incarnations are the one described in Shastra. But they so many people just, they claim that some particular person is God by popular vote. And they may manifest some gold, or they may manifest some ashes. But can they manifest a change in a person's character where they stop being sinful and become a pure devotee of Krishna? No. Only a pure devotee of Krishna can do that. And the pure devotee of Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada, is very powerful. And because Srila Prabhupada is very powerful, he was able to convince people who would have never ever heard of Krishna consciousness in the past to become pure devotees of Krishna. This is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we can see that although Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was previously a Smarta Brahmana, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, he became very attached to the principles of pure devotional service, and he was able to give up everything that is unfavorable to devotional service. And because he was able to do so, Lord Chaitanya became very pleased. So, we can understand this over here, that a person who is not a devotee, Prabhupada writes that on the mundane platform, one cannot believe that prasadam is transcendental, that Govinda is the original form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or that a Vaishnava is a liberated person. Because for ordinary people, they become very, they think that, what is this? What's the big deal about this food? For example, when Srila Prabhupada started started the Juhu temple in Bombay, he started the temple in Bombay, so many people were going crazy after the prasadam there. And then the news reporters and all of them couldn't believe it. They're thinking, you see, we are also from India. We've had prasadam so many times. But why are people becoming so addicted to the food that's being served in this temple? They must be adding some drug. There must be something like that. How can people go so crazy? But the truth is, that's the effect of pure devotional service. that bhakti, that devotion is so amazing. It's the Rupa Goswami defines bhakti as Krishna akarsani sacha, where he says that devotional service attracts even Krishna. So if devotional service attracts Krishna, then what to speak of mundane people like myself? So this is very amazing that that prasadam is so amazing and transcendental. But mundaners cannot believe that this is transcendental. This is just some ordinary food. I've had Indian food so many times, some may say. But no, this is not Indian food or American food. This is foodstuffs offered to Krishna. And because it's foodstuff offered to Krishna, a person is able to give up all their previous attachments, and are able to surrender to Krishna very freely. For example, I remember 3 years ago, I was distributing books in Piedmont Park. It's a place which is a tirtha, because Srila Prabhupada took his morning walk over there. And there I saw this young black man with his girlfriend. He was probably 21 years old. And I distributed books to him. And then he bought the books, and then I invited him to come to the Sunday program. And then he came to the Sunday program, and he was, being from the South, he was very suspicious of whether what is this and what is that. He was very suspicious about all that. But then, as he kept hearing the message of the Bhagavatam, and then he started eating prasadam, then he became very much addicted to the prasadam that we offer. He became very addicted. And then he was taking prasadam so much, and then, I distributed a stack of 4 books to him: Bhagavad Gita, Science of Self-Realization, Nectar of Instruction, and Coming Back, or Sri Ishopanishad, one of the 2. I distributed that stack to him, and he started reading Nectar of Instruction. And then when he read, he says that when he was reading the Nectar of Instruction, when he read this part that a person must follow the 4 regulative principles, that a person should give up illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, he became very angry, and he threw the book on the floor, because he was thinking that, what is this? This is my entire brought up. This is how I was brought up in my life. And now this book is telling me everything I'm doing is wrong. What is this? He was very, very angry. But then he kept eating prasadam, and the more he took prasadam, the more purified he became, to the point that now, he is he just graduated from law school. He took his bar exam. He is living in an ashram temporarily, getting trained up, and then he is going to, continue becoming a lawyer and getting married and being associated with the temple. His name is Bhaktanik. Some of you may know him here. Bhaktanik, and he's getting initiated soon. But how is this possible? That's the power of prasadam. That's the power of prasadam. Even myself in my own life, when I first started coming in the association of devotees, it was 10 years ago, I came across devotees, and they had offered me a plate of khichdi. And I thought I've had khichdi many times before. But anyway, these people seem like nice people. They're offering this khichdi to me. So I ate it, and I realized that there was no salt in it, and the veggies were not cooked properly. Because I guess, especially back then in the New York City Harinam Ashram, I don't think they had cooks who knew how to boil vegetables or salt the food properly. But I remember eating it. I was thinking, there's no salt and the veggies are not cooked properly, but this tastes so good. Why does it taste so good? And I kept eating it, and then I just became attached to that plate of prasadam, that same saltless khichdi, that 1 or 2 day old khichdi. And then just by taking prasadam, so many sinful desires were able to be subdued. Why? Because this is Krishna. Prasadam is Krishna. Prasadam is non-different from Krishna. When a person honors Krishna prasadam, the amount of mercy that they get is inconceivable. Inconceivable amount of mercy is there in Krishna prasadam. Why? Because of the devotion. Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachiti tad aham bhakti pahritam ashtami prayatatmanaha. Krishna says this, that a person offers me a fruit, water, leaf, or flower with devotion, he will accept it because it's offered with devotion. And then in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes this really amazing point in his commentary on this verse, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. He says that it's not only about cooking the food with devotion, it's not only about offering the food with devotion, it's not only about serving the prasadam with devotion, it's not only about honoring the prasadam with devotion, it becomes complete when you grow the veggies and the rice and the grains and the dal and all that with devotion. That becomes a complete process. And that's why Prabhupada says so much, Daivarnashram Dharma. Prabhupada wanted this. So, we can see that, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also saying that when you grow the food, that flavor is very different. For example, when, last night, Apurva Prabhu gave us some milk, Goraksha milk from devotees, from some devotee. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, he has cows and he gave us some milk. And then that milk, although we've had raw milk so much, this was very different. This flavor of this milk was very different. Why? Because the cows know they're being protected for and taken care of. And that extra effort of doing this pleases Krishna so much. Ataf pumbir duja shreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha swanartishtasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshana. That when everyone performs all their duties accordingly with Krishna in the center, Krishna becomes very pleased. Krishna becomes very satisfied. And the satisfaction of Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. What better goal of life is there than satisfaction of Krishna and Krishna's transcendental senses? That's why there's the crux, the essence of the Krishna conscious philosophy is there in one verse. Ataf pumbir dvija shreshta Atmendriya priti vancha tare balikam Krishendriya priti icha dhare premanam. That the desire to satisfy one's own senses is called lust, whereas the desire to satisfy the senses of Krishna is called love. So when we take Krishna Prasadam, we become inoculated by the mercy of Krishna. And Prabhupada also quoted this scientific study that every 7 years, every cell in your body is completely replaced. So if you've been in Krishna consciousness for more than 7 years and you've only been eating Krishna Prasadam, cooked by devotees and offered by devotees and not buying stuff from outside, and it's only Krishna Prasadam, then you have a completely Prasadam body. How many people have a completely Prasadam body? 1, 2, 3, 4, wow. You too, I'm sure, Prabhu. You also have Prasadam. Your body looks like Prasadam body. So, and sometimes we eat so much Prasadam, we have a Prasadam belly. And that's okay. That's completely fine. At least sometimes, right? But we have a completely Prasadam body. Why? Because every cell in your body is replaced by Krishna Prasadam. It's very amazing. It's a very amazing thing. And the effect of sticking only to Prasadam, that's an austerity, Prabhupada said. There's a big austerity. One of the austerity is, you should only cook what is Prasadam, which means you should only eat what is Prasadam, which is cooked by devotees only. That means, Prabhupada didn't like buying stuff from outside. Prabhupada initiated some devotees, and then this was in New York. And then, very close to that place where they were living was this donut shop. And the devotees initially would go and have donuts from this karmi place. And they don't know, Prabhupada, that has no eggs in it, this and that. No, Prabhupada said, this is not donut, this is do not. Prabhupada said, this is a do not, Why, Prabhupada? Because, and we can see there's this verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that's repeated at least 3 times, but it must be more, but at least 3 times it's repeated, and 3 times is for emphasis. Like, can anyone think of a verse where something is repeated 3 times? Very famous. That's right. Hare Nam, eva kevalam. Kalo naseva, gatiranyata. Right? 3 times repeated. And another thing Prabhupada said 3 times is, distribute books. He said that also 3 times. And we can see this always is 3 times for emphasis. So this verse is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita 3 times. Vishaira anna khailai malin ha beman, malin anna khari nahi Krishna smaran. That if we eat grains cooked by non-devotees, then our mind becomes like stool. And when the mind becomes like that, we will not be able to remember Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it 3 times in the same Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, if we avoid that and we only eat foodstuffs cooked by devotees, no matter how hard it is, that is the austerity. Krishna is pleased by that austerity. For example, if some people may be very much attached to chapatis, or some people may be very attached to bread, some people may be attached to something. But if you take the effort of baking it yourself, or making the chapatis yourself, or having a friend who does it for you, that I'm sure so many devotees are friends with the great, legendary cook Apurva Prabhu. And, being around him, there's no question of not taking prasadam. Ever since we come into his house, he keeps offering us prasadam so many times. Just in 1 hour, at least 4 or 5 times, he says, do you want prasadam? Do you want prasadam? And that's very good, because when you're around devotees, they want you to take the mercy of Krishna, because prasadam is so powerful. And the more faith we have in prasadam, then that's why Sharira Vidijal Jodindriha